Welcome to Knowledge. We got our college football and NFL show kicking right into the main swing of the season. I know we missed week one too, but we're back now. That's what's important. We're back to give you our week three predictions and picks for the college football season, tell you what's going to happen, what's our best takes against the spread. So we're going to just start and go through the biggest games of this week. And well, let's just get right into it, right? I mean, we got to tell you what's going to happen. So let's get started off with we got Colorado versus Houston Friday night game, starting it off chronologically. And I gotta be honest, Charlie, I was a big Colorado hater this offseason. I mean, you heard me in the preseason picks. I was an absolute hater, and not gonna lie, they've kind of you know, they've looked a lot better than I thought they would this year. So, Colorado v. Houston. Houston favored by 4.5. Give me Colorado not only to take this cover the spread, but to outright win. Okay. Now I do believe I believe DM this time. Okay. But let me hear your thoughts
He
because I know
believes.
you're more of an expert than I am on the Buffs. So tell me all about it.
I am. I will be taking them for the win, but I wouldn't be doing it if I wasn't a fan. So obviously, Julian Lewis and Kane Salter have both been pretty
Yeah, they're
drafted
on
so
third.
far.
They're on third
We're
string,
starting
right?
Ryan Staub, also known as Martin Luther Staub by Dion. His first career start. I'll see how he plays. I'm not very sure. I don't think there's much talent around him, but I think I'll clutch up on the road to get the win.
Yeah, I actually I don't hate Colorado his look this season, but I was really surprised to see Houston favored, especially by this much. I'm gonna pick Houston here mostly because I like how they've been. I think Connor Regan has looked great so far, as he should on Houston, and I think he has the potential to absolutely torch their secondary. That's probably why they're favored. I think it's gonna be a good game either way, but I'm gonna take Houston to cover.
And do you think this kind of propels like Willie Fritz's team to kind of really turn it around big time this season and kind of get some big momentum? Yeah, I would.
Colorado loses this, we're gonna be bad. If we start 1-2.
I guess I
Yeah.
don't think they will. I don't I like Colorado a lot this season after seeing them actually play, which is what's important, of course. So yeah, give me Dion in the Buffs. Why not?
Yes,
Next, we're
sir.
moving on to 11 a.m. Saturday. We got Clemson favored by 2.5 at Georgia Tech. This is a
Surprisingly small line.
well, Clemson looked like garbage last week. Let's
I
be
know.
honest, absolute garbage. I
How is
was
this at 11 too? Like, because the other Miami game's on the CW, so is there
Yeah.
just
East
no big
Coast
ACC games?
East Coast game. I think part of it
Well,
too.
it was scheduled in May too, but I feel like they're trying to get us to take to bet on Clemson with that small 2.5
Really,
line.
I feel like the opposite is I feel like they're trying to get you to take Georgia Tech for the upset.
I
But
know, but it's such a small line. They're like,
because everyone's
Yeah.
no, hear me, everyone's doubting Clemson this past week because they looked like straight garbage, and I was high on them this offseason. I'm gonna keep going with this time. So give me Clemson to cover the spread against Georgia Tech to come out with the win. And what's probably their toughest ACC game of the season? I mean, debatedly. I mean,
yeah,
I
yeah.
would say so here.
I think the
And
at Georgia Tech is a big. That's a tough environment and
I
everything.
just, it's no secret. I had Georgia Tech winning the ACC, and this was a big game for them already. But based off how Clemson has looked so far, Cade Klubnik, obviously,
Oh yeah,
Ark Manning falls out of the Heisman race. Who's next guy up? Cade Klubnik, and he
and he
fails to
falls
perform
right
as
back
well.
too.
And that's not like the LSU defense is really stellar or anything either.
He
So it's
he
like
was probably
I
so
think Georgia
happy.
Tech is gonna give them a run for their money. So I'm picking them here. And I think they're gonna get out to that front
Yeah.
runner in the ACC, them in Miami.
He was probably so happy that Arch looked so bad week one because nobody talked about like how bad Cade
Yeah,
Klubnik
spotlight
Yeah,
looked.
would have been the
Yeah.
spotlight was
he
off
looked
him, that's for
pretty
sure.
bad against Troy too, though. Started out
Yes, they
16.
were they were down what
Yeah.
10 to Troy at
I
halftime,
could not
They're
believe they
down
something.
managed to get the
16-0
win
at one
there. I mean,
point.
I thought really for a moment, I thought, okay, this is legit. Troy's winning. Um, but they managed to come up with the win. I think that's what the good teams do. I still think Clemson's a playoff team. I just don't think they'll reach that upper like heights of a like, national title competitor
I mean,
team.
that's the thing. They can lose this game, and with how the ACC schedule rolls
Yeah,
out,
of course,
and
of
they don't play
course.
Miami, I mean, they could still make it so easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like Clemson's fallen from championship contender to just playoff
Playoff
contender.
contender. It's the sad truth, but it's the truth.
But I'll
Um,
be taking Clemson to cover still.
that
What
being
about a
said,
contender?
That
No,
being
no,
said,
no. What about a contender that went from championship contender to playoff contender, and now probably isn't either? Bama. What do you
Yeah,
rate?
okay, well, we'll get to
Moving
that. We'll
on.
get to
So moving on to Bama, Wisconsin at Bama. Bama favored by 20
Wait,
and a
did you guys
half.
are you guys all taking Clemson too?
I'm taking Clemson. Who you
I
got?
took Georgia Tech.
You took Georgia
Okay.
Tech. Okay, you okay, so two out of three got Clemson here. Okay. So Wisconsin at Bama. Okay. Bama, you know, Florida State game, of course, they're not maybe that great this season. But man, Wisconsin sucks. Give me Bama.
Okay. Wisconsin isn't good, but I do think they cover. I think Bama this is kind of like a nasty bounce back like they had against South Carolina last year. It's like, okay, you get the bounce back win, but I don't think Bama's that good either. I think they win
No.
by 10 to 14, I'd say.
For Bama to win this one, or for sorry, for Wisconsin to cover, Bama would have to win by like only two scores.
I
Only.
think
Do
they'll
do
win
you
by
see that
14.
happening?
It's going to be tough. Wisconsin doesn't even have their
Well,
starter,
just
I don't think.
reference
And
for
they'll be
last year, and
playing.
Wisconsin looks about the same team as they were last year. I mean, judging
Yeah,
by
I don't
week
even think
one,
Billy
too.
Edwards is going to play this game, but
Yeah.
Ty Simpson's not very good either. Ryan Williams, I think Ryan Williams is going to be out too.
Yeah. Who you got, James?
Yeah, he's got concussion. He'll be out. But I still look, it's a pretty big line, but I gotta take Bama here. I
Yeah.
mean, and it's less that I think Bama looks good and just Wisconsin it's really looked, bad. Even
That's
like
my
I mean they
logic too.
struggled with their cupcake teams already, and then at the end of the day, they're still playing in Tuscaloosa. That's, no easy environment, and they lost
Yeah.
pretty bad last year in Camp Randall. So I'll take Bama to cover here, even though I really don't think this is a great Bama team.
Yeah, well, I think Bama is they're certainly talented. They only lose when they're really just like not caring and unprepared for a game. And I think now that they've had a loss, they realize they have to actually like try now. So I
Yeah,
do
I mean
think
they
they'll
look
get
They
they're
there.
looking
lose
at the rest of
this.
their SEC schedule and they see that this is one of them,
Yeah.
they need to
Yeah.
win games like
This
this
is a
If
now.
they
very
somehow
winnable game for
lost
them.
this, they're going to be bad.
Absolutely. So let's keep it rolling with arguably, well, according to College Game Day, the biggest game of the week. We got Georgia at Tennessee. Tennessee looking a lot better than I would say many, including myself, predicted. I mean that I mean, you could not be happier if you're a big Tennessee fan. I gotta hop on the bandwagon myself because I mean, just going from the Nico trade to this, I mean, it looks so great.
Does
Um,
UCLA go winless this year?
yeah, who knows?
Oh, dude,
Um,
I told you. I'm all my takes are coming true. I said they were gonna be the worst team in the Big Ten.
Hey,
Start 0 and 2,
If
man.
Purdue wins this weekend, that will be the quickest over of the season. I took the over on that. If we
so
win the season, we have the
I
quickest
told you
over.
Nico was gonna suck, man.
yeah, so getting to Georgia, Tennessee, no one has, no one has talked about Georgia at all this season.
They look bad against
No one
Austin
has
Peay.
even mentioned Georgia. So that's when I'd say maybe they're at their most dangerous. Even considering that, give me Tennessee to cover, and I would say a good chance to outright win here. I am feeling high on this right now. Of course, that could totally go wrong, and Georgia, Tennessee really has not done well. They've done better against Bama in the past 3 or 4 years under Josh Heupel than done against Georgia for sure.
Yeah.
Um, they've won two of the last three versus Bama, but I do think this is one where they absolutely put up a huge fight in Neyland. I think if they lose an absolute nail biter. So give me Tennessee to at minimum cover. But what do you got on this one, James?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of got to mirror that take. I liked what I've seen out of Joey Aguilar so far.
Oh yeah,
And Georgia, like you said, kind of been silent on their side. It's in Neyland, that's pretty big.
Check her
I'll
out.
take
always
Tennessee
tough.
to, at the very least, cover here. I could see him win. I don't think they do, but it's really I feel like Tennessee, whenever the spotlight's on them in these big games, they don't usually win them. I mean, obviously Bama would be the exception. I think the one time that at game day out of the last 3 years or whatever. But still, it's just like I mean, when was the last time they beat Georgia, anyways?
Mm,
2019
no,
maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I
no,
No,
don't
probably
know.
like
That's the
19.
thing.
2012 or 2013.
No, no, they've beaten Kirby Smart
No,
Georgia
it was
No,
probably
before.
more
they
recent
haven't
than that, but
beaten
like
Kirby. They haven't beaten
it's
Kirby.
I just
Yeah.
Georgia
Shoot,
finds
trying
a
They
way
lost a
to
lot of
be
big
good.
games.
I think they'll win, but I do like what I've seen out of
I
Tennessee.
think Georgia, I think they win and cover. Not like a dominant win, but I think they do win. I don't trust Carson Beck much, but I trust the talent around him more than I do Tennessee. Tennessee's two starting corners are out too. That's the key of the game.
Yeah.
And I trust Georgia's wide receivers.
Mm.
Nah, bro. Noah Thomas has like two catches on the year. What do you mean
It's
you
all right.
trust
He'll lock
him?
in. They looked horrid against Austin
That's what I'm
Peay.
Yeah,
saying. They
I
look
haven't paid much
bad. I
attention
mean,
to
I
Georgia
don't
this year.
know.
Like, are we thinking it's the same Georgia as last year, or is it like the Georgia of, of
I
dominance?
mean, same Georgia last year. I still think beats Tennessee. I think it's same as last year, but I still think they beat Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, how are we thinking Gunnar Stockton's going to fare going to Neyland?
Okay, I mean this is like his third or fourth year now, so it won't be like totally raw, but
I mean, I think one big mistake could really make all the difference. If you have a bad pick at some point,
yeah, I mean you saw Jalen Mildew was pretty bad last year going to
yeah,
Neyland.
absolutely. So, well, we'll see what happens. I am very excited for that. Now, moving on to, I would say, one of the hottest teams in college football, the USF Bulls. Now, fresh off their victory over top 15. Well, first top 25 Boise State, I should say, then top 15 Florida. Now let's see. They've moved to top 25 wins, now top 15 wins. Now they're going to move to top
They
5
win this, they
wins.
deserve to be ranked number one. You could
If they
argue.
win this, they deserve to be top 5 in
One
the
could
team.
argue, one could argue.
If you're going by results this season, like they have to be. They're like,
I
I
know
mean,
it's just
that's 3 straight weeks of ranked wins.
like if
yeah,
they
So
were
I
a
mean,
different team, they'd be ranked so much higher.
in Miami, I think Miami looks legit this year. I think Miami is actually great. Now the question is how far will Mario Cristobal hold them back, going conservative at the end and kind of Kirk Ferencing his games at the end, trying to play not to lose. That ends up hurting them, almost costing the Notre Dame game. Now I do think Miami comes away with a win, but I think USF puts up a great fight here. I really do. I think you know, I wasn't convinced. I thought Boise just sucked after the first game of the season, but after the Florida game, okay, I'm convinced on these guys.
Yeah,
So
they're actually good.
over under, or not, sorry, not over under, but Miami's favored by 17 and a half. I mean, that's begging for me to take USF, judging by last week's results. So of course you're gonna have a decent crowd there maybe for USF just because of the game hype. All on the CW.
Yeah, CW. So now you guys see
It's
that
so nasty.
they tried to move game day here, but
yeah,
Miami
Miami
rejected it.
declined.
That's sad.
It's wild.
Yeah, that is rough.
I
It
mean, they
probably
don't
would have
have
been a good
fans to show
crowd
up to
though.
games anyways, but still,
Yeah,
it's
Fair
just a
enough, fair
bad
enough.
look.
I think Miami, I think
yeah.
Carson, go
I'll
ahead.
be
Go
taking
ahead.
USF to cover, and I can't pick
Cover.
them outright win. Miami
Yep.
looks too tough this
Same
year, but
here.
I'll take the cover.
I think Carson Beck is just too steady to allow them to just fully lose. I think they'll do just enough to win, but I think it'll be certainly closer than within 2 touchdowns at least.
Yeah, he's not old Carson
Yeah.
back. He doesn't really turn it over as much. I feel like.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think this is a favorable line for USF. I gotta take him to cover here too, same as
of
y'all.
course, of
Yes,
course.
The
sir.
question is really, is Notre Dame just really bad, or is Florida just really bad? So we will find out this
I,
week for
I think Notre
sure.
Dame.
So
We'll get there later in the show. I think Notre Dame and Miami are both very, very good. I think we watched two of the best teams in college football play.
Well,
But
two of the best teams in this
there's
trip.
a little tease for, 2 more games down. But let's go first to Arkansas at Ole Miss. Ole Miss inexplicably favored by 7.5. Give me Arkansas here. Give me the Hogs. The Hogs are gonna run all over them. In fact, I think there's a decent chance Arkansas wins this outright. I'd pick them to win outright. Screw it, of course. What do you got here, Charlie?
Yeah, that was gonna be like one of my upset picks of the week.
Oh, I
But
stole your pick.
of course, I'm rolling with the Hogs. I mean,
Of course.
they've looked great after 2 weeks. I know they haven't played anyone great, but Taylor Green and all them, everyone looking great. And Austin Simmons looked pretty horrible against Kentucky last week. He had 2 picks and 0 touchdowns. I
yikes.
know they
Yeah.
got the win,
Ole Miss
but
does not look great, and judging by what we're thinking of them this season, it seems like
I'm gonna take the Hogs.
Arkansas is due for at least one like kind of weird upset win in the season, and this has
Yeah,
gotta be it, I
I mean,
think.
even though it's at Ole Miss, I don't think that's super intimidating. And
Yeah, famous Old Miss, no, Oxford, known for their like extraordinarily difficult environment to
Yeah.
play in.
yeah,
I guess we all got the same,
Mm,
possible upset pick because I'm pretty
too
high on
easy.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
Same thing with Chuck. I think Taylor Green has looked like one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC so far this season. And obviously Ole Miss, I watched a lot of that Kentucky game. And they really did not look very good. And that's against Kentucky and
Mm.
Calzada. So, I mean, even Arkansas going into a road environment here, a line at, 7.5, man, I'd take Hogs
bro,
easy, at least to cover.
Zach Calzada needs to hang it up. It's time. It's time for
Yeah,
him to go.
of course. Now going on to what was supposed to be, Charlie, tell me about this. What was supposed to be the absolute biggest game this week and just
This
completely
was going
fell
to be
flat?
game day. I was going
Tell
to
me
be
all
so
about it.
excited for this game. It could have been a near top 10 matchup. And now our season's pretty much over.
Our season.
Brings me joy. Brings me joy.
Brings me sadness. I would have been so hyped for this game. I mean, having ABC primetime there, Kirk and Chris.
Oh yeah. And now just nothing. I mean, at LSU, for me personally, Give me LSU here, the minus 7.5. I think this is where I do think still think Florida is a legit pretty decent team, but I think this is where we're kind of have a big blowout win. It seems like Billy Napier last season too is due for like a blowout win in his tenure, and then everyone gets down, and then they win a few random games to kind of top it off. But I just think LSU is even in spite of Clemson looking worse, I think they're legit this year still. But what do you got on this one,
Yeah.
Dennis?
Man, I think I originally had Florida covering here because I think still think they're a good team. But the difference is here is that it's in Death Valley.
Yeah,
That is huge.
makes the
Um,
difference in the game, man.
Obviously last year they stole that win against them when LSU was the better team. But this year I think it's going to be a lot harder to do that. And I was really thinking, last year, same thing people were saying when they lost to Miami, got killed, and people are instantly calling for Billy Napier's job. And that's same thing that's happened this year, obviously. And so backed against the wall, Billy needs to start winning. Did he turn it around right away on the must win? No, he did not last year. It took a while. So
Yeah,
this year, I do not expect them to suddenly be like, prove they're still a contender right away. They might still be a good team, but having this tough of a road game right here, I don't think they come out on top.
yeah. Rip Billy Napier not on the hot seat from like mid-October last
I
year to the
know.
first week of
It
September. It was
sucks.
going
Like
so well. He wasn't remote. No one mentioned him on hot seats like in the off season, and now it's
Florida's
just all
playoff hopes are
back.
pretty much just mostly gone
They're
after
gone.
two
They're
weeks
gone. No, no,
because we're just looking ahead
the
to the schedule in
schedule,
the
they're gone.
future. I mean,
I
the
mean,
next four games
to
are
be realistic, besides maybe Mississippi State, who is actually looking a whole lot
Even
better
they're better.
now,
Even that's
if
looking
they're
like a
better,
harder game.
it's
Yeah.
so
but even
bad.
if you take out Mississippi State, USF was by far the easiest team remaining
Yeah.
on
I
their
mean,
schedule.
honestly though, even if we beat USF, the schedule would still be brutal. Just it's
Oh
a lot
yeah.
more now that we lost
I
USF.
think I think you'd be lucky to get back to 8 wins this year.
But I think
I'll
LSU
give you back
wins
to bowl eligibility.
no cover.
Yeah, interesting. All right, well, talking about
Florida's gonna
big
cover.
games, we got arguably the biggest game. I would say the biggest game of the week.
Would have got game day if it wasn't on NBC, most
Absolutely. It's
likely.
it's
Yeah,
the
it
the
would have, but
ESPN is
that's all right.
SEC on ESPN. It's how it works. I understand. But Texas A&M at Notre Dame. Notre Dame favored by 6.5. And you know what I gotta say this?
Oh, F and A&M.
All right.
The audio cut out,
I
so
don't
it's
think the
just
audio, but
awkward.
I
But
can edit that out.
I,
I'll try to
I
edit that.
respect it. I
Anyways,
respect it.
A&M's gonna lose. But give me him to cover.
Hey, I
I
mean,
actually, yeah, I
you
will
do
not be
you,
taking
man.
A&M to cover.
Give me A&M to cover. I think they put up a really good fight because yeah, it's at Notre Dame, but since when has like freaking South Bend been known as a really tough environment to play in?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of A&M
So
fans will probably travel up there,
of
but
course they're gonna have at least
Lots and lots and
probably gonna have at least a
lots.
solid 15 to 20% of that stadium A&M fans.
All right, time for me to yap.
All right, let's hear the yappage. Let it all out.
This line was pretty wide, and then after
Yeah.
CJ Carr looked terrible in that Miami game, it's
I
been
don't know, man.
fluctuating a
CJ Carr, I
lot.
think, is pretty good, but
No, but just Notre Dame in general,
he'll
you know
get
what I
better. He
mean.
didn't look
It
great
it
week
went
one, but I
down
think he'll get
like
better.
crazy after that, and now it's kind of moved back up to the 6.5. But I still think that's a pretty favorable line for A&M. I mean, what they lost by 10 points last year, but it was basically a field goal game the whole
yeah, I mean
time.
they were right in it till the very end,
Um,
of course.
in my opinion, I think A&M wins this one based off what I've seen in Notre Dame. At the very least, covers. But what I'm really concerned about is not actually A&M's offense for once. Normally, it's always the
Yeah,
offense. I'm concerned
not
about the
Marcel
defense in this
Reed.
game because the offense I've seen firsthand their first two games, and the offense has taken strides. Casey and Margaret Graber have looked amazing,
Yeah,
and Marshall, albeit some misses, he's improving. Now, the
I'd
defense,
agree.
I'm concerned about the run defense, especially against a team like Notre Dame. I know they might have gotten pushed around at Miami,
Miami is the
but
best
you can
defense, though.
never count
Defensive
them
line.
out.
Miami is the best
Yeah.
defensive line they'll played all season. So
I
it's no wonder they
Yeah,
look a
The
little bit
A&M run
worse
D is
there.
true.
having struggles right now. A&M D in general, I
That's
think
not
that is the
great.
key to the game for Notre Dame right here.
Yeah.
If they can run all over us, so I'm a little concerned. But we will see how they play in the trenches because that's going to determine this
I
game.
would also highlight another concern is Notre Dame's secondary versus, well, mainly versus Marcel Reed's throwing ability. Um,
Yeah, I trust
I
Notre
just,
Dame secondary, and I
yeah,
trust
I don't
CJ
think
Carr
A&M can hang
slightly
with
more than Marcel Reed.
Notre Dame's defense long enough.
I think. I think Love and Price are gonna have a field day too. I'm taking Notre Dame cover.
Yeah.
I'm not super worried about KC and Bussy and the wide receivers because I trust Notre Dame's
Well, you have
secondary.
to consider Notre Dame is coming out with a vengeance after this. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I think Notre
imagine
Dame's a lot
think
more
the
They've
Purdue
had the
game
bye
after they
dangerous.
week.
lost.
Yeah, they've had the bye week. They need
But
this
Because
I
win.
still
Notre Dame,
think
if they lose this, it's kind of over. Texas A&M can afford to lose this.
from what I've seen so far, I do like this A&M team this season. I like them a lot. I think they do look like a better football team. So I think they hang a close game because Notre Dame's not really typically the type of team to blow good teams out of the water. So I think they hang with them enough for A&M to cover, and I think A&M puts up a very good fight. I think this is gonna be the best game of the week. Of course, that could come back to bite me. I've probably jinxed it right now,
Yeah,
but I think this is gonna be the best, most entertaining game of the week, and I'm very excited for it. But well, let's keep it rolling here. Going on to a really interesting matchup for me, I think Vandy at South Carolina. Um, both teams with a lot of hype. I mean, obviously South Carolina with Beamer getting his any given Saturday show. I would say South Carolina was about the main character of that show,
and
right?
Pavio, we got Pavio running his mouth.
And then we got
Yeah,
Pavia
both of them
saying
were featured.
whatever the heck he
LSU
wants to say.
also.
And you know what? I say in this game, Pavia backstep. Give me Vandy to win outright.
Oh, I was surprised this line was only
Yeah.
about like 4.5. I mean, considering a top 10
I
team.
think this is the game where
After,
people realize like Pavia is legit. Okay. In South Carolina, let's be honest, they haven't looked amazing so far. I don't think South Carolina is, I think they're one of the more overhyped teams in the offseason.
yeah,
Um,
they could be that SEC team like Kentucky a few years back or Ole
yeah.
Miss. It's kind of just in the top 10, but it's like, why are we here? Why are they there?
They'll get those SEC quality wins because they'll say like Bama or someone has so many wins against the top 15 opponent and stuff.
Yeah.
But I just haven't been impressed with them at all so far. I mean, Virginia Tech, eh, um,
Yeah, I wanted to
and
pick
we saw
Vandy,
Virginia Tech
but
lose. We saw
They both
compare the
played Virginia Tech, so
compare
it's
the
a
yeah,
games
very
exactly.
Vandy won
That's what
by
I'm
Vandy was
saying.
comparison
on the
in week
road
one and
too,
two.
so
Yeah, Vandy, I mean, wasn't as close at
Vandy
all.
was obviously down, but I mean that second half was insane
Oh
to end
yeah, I
up
mean,
winning
what
by
matters is
that
the
much.
end of the game, and they
South
really piled
Carolina,
on at the
minus a
end.
few, explosive plays, could have lost that game. So
Yeah, for
I
sure.
like Vandy here, maybe at least a cover. I'm still going to take South Carolina because I believe in Lenore Sellers and that South Carolina team, but don't be surprised if Vandy sneaks up here.
Give me Vandy to
yeah.
be ranked next week after
I
this.
wanted to pick Vandy to win, but I was just a little scared to do it, so I'm taking South Carolina.
Fortune favors the bold, man.
I know, but
Little sheet. Enjoy your little sheet pick.
I know. A little cheap pick there.
All right, now let's finish it off. We're just highlighting the biggest games again this week. Finishing it off with Minnesota at Cal. Um,
Little Pac-12 after dark.
Pac-12 after dark, you could say. I think Minnesota is solid enough where I've got them to cover because it's close enough where you just have to pick the outright right winner of this game, right? Let's go with of the
Yeah.
line, and I got Minnesota winning. I think they even though it's at Cal, that doesn't mean much because who will show up. Um, but yeah, I think Minnesota's always they're solid enough versus PJ Fleck where they can defeat what I would say is a not a mid at best team with Cal. But let's hear your thoughts on it, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Cal on this one.
Oh yeah,
Big Ten teams have fared really bad traveling out to the West Coast.
that's a good point.
Late, I don't really trust Minnesota. They haven't played a close game yet. Cal's been slightly more tested, and I don't know much about Minnesota, so I'm just gonna give Cal just because they're home field edge.
Yeah, what do you got on this, James?
Yeah, Charlie nailed it with I don't know much about Minnesota because I was just scrolling through and every single one
They
of our
did look
weekly
not good
picks,
in their
every
first
single of
week.
these,
Yeah,
every single one of these weekly picks, I've watched at least one game of every one of these teams, if not two. And Minnesota Cal, I had not watched a game of either of these
Did you
teams.
Yeah,
watch their week one Thursday
I
night
have
game?
not
They
watched.
didn't.
This
I
is the
watched
only one
like a
I haven't
little
watched
bit of
either.
it.
I gotta
I
be
Not
do
honest, and
not
much.
this
know
is
what to think about
in
either of these
detriment to
teams,
me.
but
They
I'm
didn't look
taking Cal.
great. They didn't look great in week one.
Give me Cal. Not
I
much
just think
reasoning
like
here,
they're
but
playing Cal, man. Like I don't know. All right,
Yeah, I
well,
mean, I think Minnesota could have some offensive struggles, and in a game like this, I just give it to the home team when I just have no idea who I think's gonna win.
fair enough, fair enough. But all right, well that'll do it for this week. Let's hear real quick. Let's go around. I want to hear just off the top of your head score predictions for A&M at Notre Dame.
Notre Dame 31, A&M 20.
You got A&M scoring 20 and losing. I don't know if it'll be that high scoring a game.
Yeah,
We've
I went a
we've
bit
learned.
high
Have you not
scoring.
learned from the past 2 weeks? It's all low scoring now, Trey.
I
That's the way it
know I went a bit
goes.
too high scoring, but I can't take it back.
No, see, that's where I disagree. Last year's game, slug, like total slow
Slop.
game, nothing going on. I think this year it's going to be way more high scoring. I would take the over on the points on this game. I think both teams could totally score over 30 points. I mean, I don't know if I really have a score prediction. I guess I'll say like A&M 34, Notre Dame 30. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I think it could be high scoring here. That's my hot take for this week.
It'd be a fun one. I'd love for a good shootout sometimes. Feels like we haven't gotten one yet this season, really.
I know. I was
Get
expecting Clemson LSU to be like the shootout of the year.
offense firepower and it's just freaking one touchdown basically by one or two touchdowns by the team.
At least we
Give
saw
me
Oregon. I saw Oregon put up 69 points against
Yeah,
Oklahoma
people think
State.
they're amazing again because they dropped like 70 against a bad team.
They look good though. I mean, they'll
They
challenge
look
Penn
good or
State.
Oklahoma State just sucks again.
Oklahoma State is trash, but
But give me Notre Dame 24, A&M 20. I think pretty close, good game, of course. Again, best game of the week. But I hope it is. We'll see when we get there. So it's going to be a great week three, I think. One of the better week threes in memory. Normally week three kind of sucks, am I right? Like
yeah, I think it balanced
It's
out.
normally the
Week
bad
two,
non-com
week two
games.
is
we got
bad.
some legit conference matchups plus some high profile non-cons and A&M. And USF too. It's going to be a great time. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see who's right. We'll hopefully be back with you next week to determine
We'll see.
determine whose picks are the best and go forward with the college football season from there. So see you then.